All right, I think we are live. I'm going to just double check a couple things. As you can see, it's me here all by my lonesome. So if you give me just a moment, I will double check to make sure that we have everybody roughly where we need them to be. I see us live on 2 YouTube channels, which is good. It looks like we're live on Facebook also good. And then we need that all important TikTok. I'll just double check that one to make sure that is all looks good to me. All right, and we're going live. And we're live there. Okay, we got live everywhere. Normally I do a little bit of a blurb and then I bring on my co-host with the most. The unfortunate part is my co-host with the most has a previous engagement, let's put it that way. So he is not with us tonight. He is on assignment. And we'll be back at the end of the month on the 4th Tuesday of the month, as we've now changed our schedule up for season 4. And, the one thing I can say is if you would have asked me 3 years ago when Jim said, hey, why don't you come and be on the show, be on the podcast, what would that have been like? Well, I can tell you for certain, I never would have thought that 3.5 years down the road, we'd be looking at expanding out into, Spotify and Apple Podcasts and some of those larger platforms. And, if I had to point my finger to it, I'd say Jim did it. It was Jim that started it and brought Brian along and then brought me along. And, we've carried on with it. So all good there. I don't know how many of you are in Canada or saw the wonderful weather that Saskatchewan has had over the last little while. 5 inches of snow in some areas of the province and snow and ice. It's all melted now. But it was just, I think winter was doing a beta test. When winter does a beta test, that's usually when people are not 100% prepared for it. Typically, we don't get that kind of weather until the end of the month, so having it in the middle of the month was a little bit of a shock. But what can I say? Looks like we've got somebody here who's here with us. That Mark Barris, Yep, that's right. It was Thanksgiving in Canada on Monday, so we had our proverbial turkey or ham, depending on your taste. Thanksgiving in Canada, it follows some of the similar storyline that it does in the U.S. There are a few differences with it as well, but if I don't want to I don't want to misspeak and say something that might not be historically accurate, but if I recall correctly, it's almost as old as Thanksgiving would be in the United States. Not the legally declared holiday, but the actual tradition itself. So that one you guys might actually win. For me, I get to poke fun because we have a hockey cup and we have a Grey Cup, which is twice as old as the Super Bowl is. So all good. All right, now without Brian here, I need to open 500 other windows just to make sure I've got all my stuff in the right place. For those of you that are just joining us on TikTok, we are going to be introducing our guests here right shortly. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. For those of you that are with us live, we will make sure that we have questions as they get posted, and we will carry on from there. All right. So all of that said, let's introduce our guests. So our guest heroes, are a dynamic husband and wife team leading multiple ventures together while still finding time to explore the great outdoors in the U.S. and abroad. As president and vice president of the Hypnosis Education Association and co-founders of HypnoBiz in a Box, they support hypnotists worldwide in building thriving businesses. Through MindWorks Hypnotherapy, Melanie specializes in helping high-achieving women recover from burnout, while Shawn brings innovation and systems expertise to streamline business success. Together, they've built a family-centered life where entrepreneurship, service, and love of community are shared values. They keep both their work and family thriving. With that in mind, please welcome to the Hypnosis Hero podcast, Melanie and Shawn.
No.
And I want to point something out here because we were talking about it right at the outset. Notice that we spell our names properly.
That's right.
Yeah, I was going to say that I'm going to every time somebody says hello to you, I'm just going to pretend they're saying hello to me too. So
Right now,
hard to see it.
Right now, we actually have Shawn squared in the literal sense.
Woohoo! Awesome.
It's all good. Welcome to Hypnosis Heroes. I know Jim was looking to bring you guys on a while ago, and just through scheduling and whatnot, and mostly his scheduling because he was all over the place. If Jim ever sat still for a minute, I'm sure that would have been a disaster a lot earlier. But I know he wanted to bring you guys on, and so we've never met officially that I'm aware of. I might have seen you at Hypnothoughts like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe. It would have been in passing because Hypnothoughts, I mean, it's so busy all the time. There's people, there's 700 hypnotists running around, all that energy. So, and I didn't get out to Michigan this year, and I know Dan is forever after me to, hey, you got to come to Michigan. Hey, you got to come to Michigan. It's like, yeah, Dan,
it's a good one. It's a good one. It's worth it. It really is.
Vibe.
It's got a great vibe. It's well organized, and
that pretty much sounds like Dan.
Wonderful person.
The one thing I will say about Dan, and probably the sweetest prizes ever.
Yes,
definitely. If you're looking for some AV, that you're gonna get some cool swag there.
That's right.
Dan seems to have his pulse on the vendors of the world that they just give him stuff. Immediately after Michigan was done, like 3 days after, I get this messenger message. Hey, Shawn, look at this. This is going to be the first prize for blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Dan, it's 3 days. And he said, yeah, they just sent it to me. It's really cool. And I can't say what it is because it's really cool. And I'd love to have one, but that means I got to attend the conference.
Yes, that's the only way to get it.
Yeah. So, and actually, we were having an organizing meeing for the Performing Hypnosis Summit just earlier today. And the term niche conference came up. So Performing Hypnosis Summit, of course, would be one because it's all about performing hypnotists. I would say Michigan is another. It's a smaller, not so much.
You might call it a boutique.
Yes, that's a good word for it. It's a very intensive look at a particular segment of the hypnosis world.
It's a good time with good people.
I keep hearing that, and apparently there's this Detroit style pizza that
we've heard about it. We did not have a chance to get it this time. I felt like we were about to march there for whatever reason. Who knows?
I think something distracted us.
It happens all the time. But yeah, I remember. Why didn't we get the Detroit?
We're actually thinking about going to the thing coming up in January.
Performing Hypnosis Summit.
Performing Hypnosis. We're actually thinking about going there.
So do I do a shameless plug here?
If you're going to get to Vegas any time of year, January has got to be the time to not.
Well, you've been to Hypnothoughts, so you know what it's like in July.
Yeah. The blow dryer, the hot blow dryer.
Yeah.
It's really
it's not just hot. It's kind of like Africa hot.
Right on.
I remember once I got stuck in Vegas. This was many years ago, but it was in the middle of summer. Straight up, I had never been there before, and I'm walking up and down the strip, and I couldn't figure out why I was getting a headache. Completely and utterly dehydrated,
Yeah, I think we know a little more.
Yeah, that was a long time.
A little bit more about drinking water and such these days.
Well, and like I can remember also being in Texas in the middle of the summer, and the signs along the freeway going into Fort Worth said, "If there's a wildfire, don't leave your car."
Well, okay.
Well, hey, not that I'm. Saskatchewan is pretty much almost straight north of Texas. It's not that we don't have wildfires, but they wouldn't let them burn like that. They would at least try to stop them a little bit. And just the way things are set up here, it's usually easier to do that, or they just block traffic and don't let you on the highway at all. Say, oh no, there's a wildfire, just wait, boom, and then 20 minutes later they'll let you drive, and you can see both sides of the fields burnt, and yeah, it's fun and games. But that was a little bit of a shocker when I saw that. All right, now enough about that. We know about Vegas. We know that you can get there for Hypnothoughts in July. You can get there for PHS in January. And again, being a niche conference, a boutique, you really get a chance at these conferences to actually connect with people. And you have some unique products within the hypnosis world. So HypnoBiz in a box. You also have the Hypnosis Education Association, and you guys have a virtual conference coming up.
Sure do. Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
I should clarify, Hypnosis Education Association is a not-for-profit that was founded in 1998.
So it's not ours.
It's not ours. I'm the president.
Everybody's.
He's the VP.
Yeah, she's the president. I'm the VP. But
yeah.
This
is our second year of running the conference, and last year was totally mind-blowing with the talent and the heart just that came. Amazing. It was really amazing.
And then the business summit was.
And then we held a business summit, earlier this year, and it's just been such an amazing outpouring of support for what we have, what we're trying to do, which is, help hypnosis be better understood and more utilized by the general public. And then for HypnoBiz in a box side is to help hypnotists be properly compensated for the profound work we do. Though there's been a whole lot of, open arms to that across the board.
Well, and it's necessary, right? Like we as hypnotists fight this thing called the media.
All the time.
They never.
I got a lot to say about that.
Silly.
If they ever portrayed an actual hypnosis session, I think they would find out that it's not.
It's probably too boring for them to actually.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It would not drive the plot forward at all in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
I'm actually working on it's not a screenplay. I mean, what do you call it when you're working on something for a mini series?
Yeah, it's a screenplay.
Screenplay. But it's all up here in my head right now. But it has to do with an anti-hero who's a hypnotist and this is something we're actually thinking about running through HEA. So, I mean, this is one of my initial ideas when we were kicking around the idea of getting involved in the Hypnosis Education Association was exactly what you said. Bad rap in movies and TV and media in general. I found over 100 movies, and not one of them, showed hypnosis in a good light. Most of the time it was totally off base about what it was or what it wasn't. But I've been kicking around the idea of an anti-hero who's a hypnotist who at night moonlights as a stage hypnotist, but during the day is a clinical hypnotherapist, and then also on the side works with forensics every now and then. Right, so you would be able to see this guy talk about, because he's like a house character, if you remember that guy. So you're not going to necessarily like him, but he's really into neurochemistry and the neuroscience of the whole, hypnosis experience. But when he's in a session, like his person that he was training called him out. He's like, why are you doing all that woo-woo in that session and stuff? And he's like, well, you got to give them what they need in the session. And then he describes to his, person that he's training the neuroscience behind it all. So it starts to bring out the science behind hypnotherapy, and then the humanizing it, that it's person who is straight up, all science based, but when he's in a session, he's doing what he's got to do in order to make the session work. And then you see him, doing some forensic stuff and then doing a stage hypnosis show. And so it's like, I think it might be interesting.
I think I know a couple people who might be interested in being actors on said
All right,
series.
well, let's do it.
Um, humanizing hypnosis and your conference is about dehypnosis, and we all know just how wound up society is with access to everything on demand all the time. But how many of us here have told a friend, "Hey, I got my certification as a hypnotist," and they said, "I'm never looking you in the eyes ever again. Just raise your hand."
Yeah. I think people were telling me that long before I was a hypnotist. So,
You're right.
They told me for whatever reason that I had a presence. And I'm just saying, it's the truth.
That's what you did to me.
I was definitely certified when I met you.
See, this is what I like, and this is actually something that I would love to have in my own life. Is that I would have a wife that supports everything that I do, and actually is a hypnotist with me, and I think it would be absolutely stellar. I'm still looking for that one person though. So if you know anybody,
bless filled life.
And away you go.
Expect it. Awesome.
It's all yours, man.
So I'm just going to give you a little tip. What I tell my women because I have a protocol for women who are looking for love, and I tell them, one of the things you have to do is, first of all, you have to tell yourself the story of how you meet, but then you actually have to go where you might meet her, because she's very unlikely to come knock on your door. Okay, Your hypnotist wife is probably not going to come knocking on the door because she doesn't own the contractor company that's doing the repairs. All right. So you got to go where she is. So just putting that out there.
Yep.
More conferences, Shawn.
Well, back to what Dan said, come to Michigan.
Yes.
I will definitely be at PHS because I run a lot of the tech support out there. So,
Cool.
I fill whatever gap needs to be filled. That's generally, what I do for the conference. But there are a lot of possibilities out there, not just for looking for love and so on and so forth, but there are a lot of people out there, and I want to circle back to what we said about humanizing hypnosis. There are a lot of people out there that look at us like we're either witch doctors, we're so woo woo that there's no science behind it, until they realize, wait a minute, there actually is something to this. I had a discussion today with a colleague of mine and another teacher, and he was mentioning something about thinking about sending his daughter to a hypnotist because she was in an accident and she's not comfortable driving. And I said, well, I just worked with somebody that did exactly that. And he said, really, you can do that? And it's like, if I hear, really, you can do that?
Right. It's one of my favorite things to do to help people to get rid of driving phobias. It's like magic.
And listen, man, I used to be the guy that thought hypnosis was a complete and utter BS. Mm-hmm. Seriously, till just about 4 years ago. And never would I have touched it, until I needed it. So,
and the way
go from
and
that.
The way that I attract my clients is by talking to what I know they need.
Yeah.
And they don't know that they're going to get the dose of woo until they're actually
and they don't get it unless they call for it, really.
Yeah, really. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. I don't want to compare us to medical doctors because the medical doctors get cranky about that sort of thing.
Sure.
But very often when people come to us, first of all, they're coming to us, oh my God, you're, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. And
Yeah,
for
this is
anybody
like
who
the
knows that was
last
a Star Wars
chapter.
reference that came out of my mouth, it's okay. Live
Yeah.
long
Where
and
I was.
prosper. But they're on their last legs. They've tried everything else, and that could be 1,001 different medications. It could be 500 different modalities.
Wow.
Nothing's working, and they come to us expecting a miracle. Very often we can deliver on it, but then they realize, damn it, why didn't I start here?
And that's why I'm here and Shawn's here. Like literally, if we can even move the needle a little bit, and I'm just gonna give a little nod to Jim here too.
Yeah, totally.
Because the thing that I really thought of when our friend passed was the ripple effect of what his action while he was here had already done. Like to move the needle just a little bit in helping people to be educated about what hypnosis can change the world with, right?
Yep.
And so what our goal is to have, even if just a little bit, just to have just some more people find hypnosis earlier in their journey rather than the last ditch effort, right? That we would be found for solving their problem long before they tried everything else and almost gave up. Because all it takes is a little tweak in the messaging for that to be the case.
Yep.
That's why I say people find me. They're not finding me looking for the woo or the last ditch effort. They're looking for the symptom relief that they're dealing with.
That's
And,
exactly
you, and you'd think that magic was in HEA, which a lot of it is. But it's really found in Hypnobiz in a Box with the messaging, with newsletters, with the automations, with the nurturing sequences and everything that are, templated for our subscribers. And then they can customize them depending on what their niche is and what their tone and voice is and all that kind of stuff. But the overall delivery of what hypnosis can do and,
Education part
of it is built into a weekly email series and lots of other layers inside of Hypnobiz in a Box that all of our subscribers push out into the world. So it's hopefully already starting to have
and so just
positive
like
effect.
Hypnosis Heroes, we're hoping to move that needle.
Right.
To get more people through the hypnotist stores and lots more hypnotists happily doing this craft and to the extent that they want to, fulfilled, right? And their business actually supporting their lifestyle. As much as that is possible, as we can contribute to, that's our mission.
Yeah. And that is an absolutely 100% bang on worthy mission because it's needed. It's difficult enough to fight against the media, but when the media continuously keeps kind of, who was it? It was a Lucy that used to walk by Linus and push his head down.
Oh, that Lucy. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
He calls me Lucy from I Love Lucy. That's why when you said Lucy, I was like, I know he's not Lucy. But yeah, Lucy was the one that got the football out.
Yeah. But which was it her that used to walk by Linus and kind of push his head down so he wouldn't grow?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of the way I feel sometimes. The movie comes out and it's all flashy and wonderful, and then I get 500 questions that I then have to, and it's great that at least they're asking, but then I have to say, it doesn't quite work exactly like that.
Right.
But if you would like a demo, oh no, I don't want to look in your eyes. And around we go again. We do what we can, and the reason I didn't want us to compare us to doctors was for exactly that. The people come in, they give us a list of symptoms.
Yeah. What
they don't give us is, hey, here's what's causing all my symptoms.
Of course not.
Because oftentimes they don't know. And so when you say, I speak to my client with the language and in a manner that fits their style and their patterns, that's exactly how we as hypnotists get in and do the change work that needs to be done.
Yeah. We can describe their problem better than they can. And that's when they can lean in and go, oh, you really do understand. Okay. So you can help me to get me to the other side of this? Yes.
Yeah, I subscribe to the school of Wes Rocky, if you know Wes. Really, really cool dude.
Yeah.
Dr. Wes. Is it, that, well, improv is a huge part of what hypnotists do.
Yeah.
And scripts are helpful at first, right, in order to kind of get in the groove of things.
And the language.
But really, the skill that a hypnotist needs is that being able to pivot, being able to, discover the language of the person that's sitting in the seat, discover the beliefs and values and all those things that can tie in what it is they want to do to them, and the more you can ground that to them and be able to improv the session, you're going to make some impactful, help to make some impactful change.
Yeah, and that's really the key, right? Is when you come to us, we want to be able to help you so that, and I often joke about this with my clients. I say, I don't want to see you again.
Right. Seriously, no. Schools say you're off on your own.
Yeah, it's not that I won't take your money, but I shouldn't, especially because I try to build in.
It's not a long-term relationship.
Yeah, it's funny because when I first was introduced and found out that she was a hypnotherapist, Melanie, and I was looking at the business, and her business model was just that: was I want to work with them limited amount of time, one session, for a certain group, a couple sessions for another, whatever their situation, and in limited sessions for the rest. I don't want to see them again, and not that she doesn't love and care about people, but it's I want to feel effective. And there's plenty of other people out there that need this kind of help. And that was really an odd thing for a business operation mind.
I wanted them in and out.
To get my head around, I was like, well, wait a minute. Don't you kind of want to?
Well, they'll come back in a couple of years with another,
right.
Or maybe next year with another, I think of it like, Shawn, how do you feel about this? We kind of help them set their GPS, and then they can go off for a little while. If they need another reset, they can come back.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But that might be next year or something. So yeah, it's funny.
And what I do try to do, depending on how much time I have with them, I will try to help them, with installing a self hypnosis trigger that they can then use, and and the metaphor I always tell them is, look, if I give you the tools to build a house, you should be able to build another house.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've done this once, you should be able to do it again. But I get better results with you. Okay, send me your money.
Actually, so my niche is entrepreneur women. So I actually give them, as part of our work together, a self-hypnosis course. It's called Program for Prosperity. As I tell them, and so what I actually tell them, we work together a little differently than my clinical clients. But I tell them, we're going to set your GPS, but then you have the tools coming out of here. It doesn't mean you can't come back to me if you've got another big, you've hit the new level and you want a tune-up. I'm happy to help you, but I actually give them the self-hypnosis work too.
There's a certain demographic that needs to tap into the hypnosis benefits more often. Guess what it is? Guess who they are?
Hypnotists.
Hypnotist. Work with a hypnotherapist, would you please? And that's the reason we started Hump Day Hypnosis for hypnosis business owners through the HEA, because I conduct these calls every Thursday where I talk to lots of different hypnotists, and over the months. One of the main stories has been, I'll be talking to a hypnotherapist and they'll be talking about all their limiting beliefs about their business. And I'll jokingly kind of say, hey, you might want to work with a hypnotherapist on it. Do you know any? and I got a lot of, well, kind of, but I don't really have anybody I could ask. And that's the reason we spun up the Hump Day Hypnosis. And I see Tommy just came in.
He sure did.
Yep.
And he was one of our very first volunteers at HEA to provide a hypnosis session. So if you are a hypnotist listening, we need volunteers for Hump Day Hypnosis, because this is hypnotists giving back to the hypnotist community, providing a 10, 15-minute hypnosis session.
A dose of
you know, just a little, it's a recording that you'd send in to us that then we, package and share with in the HEA group. Yeah. And beyond. So it goes out further.
I'll send you one if you don't mind. I've got one.
Yay,
Awesome.
Thank you. Perfect.
That I can work with. But yeah, Tommy here, of course, we met last year actually at the Frenemy Hypnosis Summit.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tommy's first time, and it was absolutely amazing. And I have to say, Tommy's hair is a little better than mine.
Tommy has been quite the inspiration for me, specifically, in both what we're doing with Hypnobiz in a Box and HEA. Tommy was our first case study, real-time case study for Hypnobiz in a Box, meaning that when Tommy sent in a video, I watched it, put the Chirons on it, and posted it. I didn't do any editing. It was just all whatever he had to say, good, bad, beautiful, ugly, anything, how he was feeling about Hypnobiz in a Box, about his business. And if you go into our group and go into the guides and watch from the very beginning, it's really amazing watching this transformation. Cool. And now this guy is like, I think he's going to be a major force.
Tommy's on the panel. He's our stage hypnotist. So Grant, Mike Brody.
Yeah, Grant Saunders, Michael Brody, and Tommy are providing stage hypnosis info and some comedy relief
to our conference.
Yeah, throughout a virtual thing. We've never done this before. We don't know before.
We have no idea how that's going to work out, but
what better group of guys?
Is it really going to be Michael Brody providing the comedy?
Yeah, well,
it might be somebody else.
Because I think Norbert's probably a little funnier than Michael.
I'm sure his alter ego will show up.
Yes.
As Dan's does.
We are demanding that the alter ego show up.
Yeah. And again, last year, I think was the first time also that I had a chance to meet Michael in person. We, of course, interviewed him a couple of years ago on Hypnosis Heroes, but and he was virtually at the conference, I think, 2 years ago. So it's always nice to come back and meet in person, not just to put an actual face to the name, but to get to know that person and what makes them tick and why do for the huggy people, absolutely.
I knew you were going to say that. I know.
Okay, I'm a hugger.
I'm not opposed to hugs.
But I do.
Generally, though, people, especially if I happen to be wearing a certain uniform, people generally get poked by the comm badge on it. So they don't generally hug too hard. So and it's all good. Like I said, I call it a uniform, not a costume. Mm-hmm. Brian and a lot of other guys will fight me on that. I say, no. This is a uniform.
And speaking of Brian, I was hoping he was going to be here because my brother's name is Brian.
Yeah.
And so it's Brian Bray is my brother's name, and we got Brian Bay.
Yeah. So does your brother spell it with an I or a Y?
An I.
Interesting, because my brother's middle Brian. My Brian has a Y.
Oh, good.
But Shawn and Brian is not the first time I heard Shawn and Brian. And again, it's
Evan on your team too.
There's some startling parallels here. Can we start playing the Twilight Zone theme now? I actually kind of that theme kind of goes through my head when I land in the U.S. and go through customs.
Yes. Well, us too.
That's all good. Oh, we have a couple people in TikTok land. Jen joining us from over in Manitoba. Um,
Cool.
Good friend, a
Welcome.
fellow educator, and fan of hypnosis in general. So yeah, it's good. Jen, if you have any questions, let us know. Uh, Also, I should mention Jen is also she's an online entrepreneur as well. She's always on the go. But uh, from your perspective, with HypnoBiz in a box, let's turn towards entrepreneurship.
Sure.
If you had to put your finger on it and say, okay, most hypnotists or most hypnotherapists or most stage hypnotists lack what in the entrepreneurship department?
As business skills, you know,
Yeah.
most hypnotists get into the craft after a different kind of career altogether. They don't have what I think of as digital marketing skills. I've been an online entrepreneur since 2000. So long before I was a hypnotist, I was building businesses and then teaching entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, mainly some small business, but how to build an online business. So it's just a skill set that I brought to the table. But what I noticed was, you know, I was certified and I was seeing paying clients within weeks of being certified. And then I was earning six figures within the first year and then used that as a foundation to scale to multiple six figures. And here I am going to, you know, revisit conferences with people who I know were like certified around the same time as I was. And I'd be like, how's it going? And they would, you know, almost with shame, they say they're not really doing business. So they have, I mean, they're there, they're pumped up. Their passion and skills way up here, right? Well, you can't see my hand. Here we go. Do this one. Passion and skills way up here, right? And that's not the problem. The problem is that they didn't have the business how to.
The
Yeah,
foundation.
I come from
And it's just,
in music business entertainment background, and whenever I told Melanie, you know, straight up, I was like, you know, these remind me of the artists that I used to work with, the musical artists, that they've got the skills, the passion, they're trained in the modality or in the, you know, the service, but they lack the, you know, the business side of things. They lack some of the.
and what's heartbreaking to me is that some of them will make that mean
Right.
that they're not meant
Right.
for this
They
work.
go, well, maybe I'm not meant to do. Whoa,
No.
hold on a second. That's not how this really works.
You're meant to do this work.
Yeah.
It's just there's this, you know, this skill thing that's got to be leveled up. And you know, for a lot of them, it's that they think that they, you know, they don't want to invest until they have clients. But hello, if they don't get the business how to, the clients don't come.
Yeah, they think the referrals are what's going to do it, when referrals are supposed to be at the very end of the, you know, the cycle kind of
or
deal. So.
they think that, yeah, they just think it's going to take a whole lot of time. It is. There's so many reasons, but we've talked to literally thousands, and our job really is just to link arms with them and say, you know what, I know it's not your first skill set, but we're going to get you over the hump and get you to the other side where you can just do what you want to do, see clients more, right? You do have to get some of this business stuff down and understand it and put it in place so that your clients can actually.
You got to be able to manage it,
you.
oversee it, you know, and make sure that the people that or the tools that you're using and the either virtual assistants or other team members, you can make sure they're doing it the way that you want to have it done, kind of thing. And that's very, very similar as to what that I would say to musical artists I'd work with.
Musical artists don't want to learn how to build a website.
You don't need to know how to do all the stuff. You need to have
sing.
a general idea of how it's supposed to be done.
Hi, Cindy Berg.
Hey, Cindy. You know, to be able to know, you know, make judgments on, okay, well, that's the right price for that, or
and I also sing, so.
Huh?
I also sing, so
so my youngest son is in a band, and well, he's in about 10 bands, but that's a different story.
That's fun. You could see my band pictures from, oh my God, you'd be like, what? That's you? I did.
I I built his
Huh?
website. So
Oh, cool! Yay, that's awesome. Well, it's
Dad,
interesting.
can you help me with this
His
invoicing?
friends are
Dad, can you help me
musicians.
with invoicing?
Yeah,
How do I
cool.
do this?
That's fun.
And I think that's really key. A lot of us will look at the skill set required, say that's too steep of a mountain to climb, and not realize that if we had the right system of pulleys and ropes, it's not that hard.
Yeah, it's not so
It's
hard.
really way
The
easier.
leverage, right? You got the leverage. You need leverage. And they really just need a way for the people who desperately need them to find them and to say yes to working with them, like to trust them enough to say yes to working with them. So,
Much like how hypnosis has a bad rap because of the way that media perceives them, hypnotists are approached by coaches and business strategists and things that have no idea
how our
business works. And they might be giving them some okay advice in a different industry.
Mm-hmm.
But really what happens mostly in general is it's overload. There's like all this stuff, and it's really much simpler than that. It really is. Even HypnoBiz in a box, we have all the bells and whistles, but you don't need but like a handful of them to make some really good money. And then you can have a lot of more fun, once you have the money coming in and playing with some of the other bells and whistles. But until then, a lot of times they are these shiny objects out, causing a lot of distraction.
A lot of distraction. A lot of people get their money wasted, which is unfortunate. Which is why we stepped up. Another reason why we stepped up, because
it was frustrating to see.
To see my friends, and then when I would talk, they'd be like, "Yeah, and I spent, I don't really just the amount of money makes my stomach turn," and I'm like, oh, I could have helped you.
It's almost like
I could have. I used to teach
coming to you, right?
And I would before HypnoBiz Box, I used to think to myself, I used to teach people how to build a business from scratch, and it cost, it doesn't have to cost that much. And I kept thinking that until I finally just said, let's do it. Because if there's,
she didn't even say that. She just did it and skipped out of the office.
I was like, said,
I did this.
But the thing is, I realized if I was ever going to go back to helping people build a business again, because that's what I used to do before I started working with just people's minds. I thought if I was going to work with anybody, it would be hypnotists, because I really believe in what we do. I mean, what we do is world changing.
Yeah, and you know what? Mark just said something pretty profound. He says, many people struggle with self-promotion. And I want hypnotists to reframe what they're doing, what they've been told that they're doing when they're marketing, and hypnotists go, oh, I got to market.
Or they say market like it's a bad word.
Like I'm saying, they say it like it's a bad word. Or self-promotion. Really think about it. Being selfish outside of selfishness is a good thing. You got to get the mask on yourself first so you can take care of the people around you, right? Same thing in hypnosis. In this business, hypnotists need to take care of themselves first, and reframe what it is that they're doing. The messaging they're putting out out there so that people can find them.
It's education.
It's education. It's not self-promotion.
It's not, I can help you. It's that I happen to have a toolbox, and I know you're suffering.
And know what to do.
And I know what to do to help.
Yeah.
100%.
And Tommy said without HPB, honestly, would have given up by now. And I'm just going to say, so freaking glad that we were self-promoting enough for you to find us. So
because this guy's going to
see more clients.
He's going to be a
life-changing.
He's working on some stuff right now.
Our work is life-changing. I don't think I can even put enough words to how powerfully compelled I am to help more hypnotists use this work, because I can't see everybody.
Well, that's true. You'd be going 24/7 forever.
No, and I'm anti-burnout, so I'm not going 24/7 forever. No way, man. Like, listen,
we feel the least amount of that going on.
You have me up late.
Earl Grey.
We got our tea.
No, we're pretty good at when it's time to play.
Yeah, we definitely.
We're doing some playing.
We're doing some
And,
nature play, water. We live in Florida on the nature coast, so it's really beautiful. Way too hot a lot of the time of year too.
That's really what we do when we go to conferences too.
Yeah.
When we go to conferences, you might not see us at our table all the time.
We might be having fun.
Because we might be over at the social table just having a conversation with a hypnotist. Because
You know what? That's
where it's at.
As an IT manager, days gone by,
Mhm.
I kept having to remind people, look, when I do business with our vendors, it's not just a handshake. We're doing business because we've gotten to know each other. They know what we need, and when I cry no joy and say, hey, we need something now, they're there to respond to that, help us, whatever it is. And we developed an absolutely stellar relationship between the school division that I work at and IBM K-12 education. Why? Because we got to meet them, we got to know them, they got to know us. And when we were planning projects over that space of time for upgrades and whatnot, it was all done because hey, let's have a conversation. And that to me is exactly how business is done at a conference, or how things should unfold at a conference. Hey, Tommy, let's have a conversation. I'm gonna single out Tommy since you're here anyway. I'm assuming you're still with us. But Tommy and Tom Silver, they got together, and there was some magic that happened between those two, and then we throw in. I can see his face. Why can't I remember his name? Tommy,
remind him who it is.
Yeah, Israel Mandrake.
Israel.
I was going to say, he just commented on something in HEA. He's super excited about the stage hypnotism being on the HEA.
Awesome.
And just seeing that kind of a relationship develop that quickly, and then of course Tom Silver passed away, but just seeing that relationship form that quickly. The very first conference that we did for performing hypnosis was online because it was still COVID and whatnot, but we had some of the big names in the business on a panel. And before we could get things organized enough to start asking questions, they started talking to each other. And so you had Marshall Silva saying, hey, remember, when we met over and blah, 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 and we had lunch. And then Terry Stokes will say, oh, yeah, and you remember this? And it was just this human moment of connection that, yeah, you know what? These are our people. And these are the people that we can talk to and learn from and get to know, and so on and so forth. And that's why you go to conferences. It's for the conversation.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, totally.
All right, Tommy. But I will read the rest of it because there's more after the and. The training built into your platform is light years better than anything else I've seen. And I've seriously spent thousands on other programs. You got me up and making serious progress and seeing growth in short weeks. I seriously love you both. Shawn, I guess, too, also. LOL. So, Tommy, is that me, Shawn, or is that Shawn?
Oh, no, he loves me.
Yeah, Sandy says building relationships is everything.
Right on. Yep.
And that's
collaboration. Exactly. We're huge into promoting collaboration. Totally. And you're not going to get collaboration unless you get to know somebody.
Right on.
And one of the best people you could get to know would be a fellow hypnotist.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean,
so we spend we have a given number of hours and appointments every single week that our only goal is to get to know hypnotists all over the world.
They show up on the calls and they're like, you're not going to try to sell me something?
No.
They're like, no, I'm just trying to, just learning something, just conversation. Yeah. You sell me something.
we're big.
Well, and that's
Collaboration over competition all day, every day too, man.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Only competition that really exists is on the dance floor. Just saying.
Well, you will get no competition from me. Says the guy wearing steel-toed shoes. That goes all the way back to my McDonald's days. So it was steel-toed shoes or kids stepping on my toes.
Oh.
Yeah, that I think was probably Jim's superpower. You know, we talk about, you know, forming relationships and whatnot. Jim was able to bridge gaps and get to know people very quickly, figure out who they were, and make them feel like they were number one in his, you know, in his world. And that those connections that he built are still rippling out in the community for sure.
Cool. Yeah. Not to mention, aren't his posts still scheduled? And
Okay, but Brian and I have looked like 100 times to figure out how the hell Jim posts more than most hypnotists do,
I know.
and he's not even here anymore.
I bet you there is a recycle. Is it? Are they recycling now?
Oh
you
yeah,
do that?
definitely they are.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I have
Meta, yeah.
I have a platform that you can it basically takes the whole queue and it just keeps it going. So it'll probably go forever. That's awesome.
Well, as long as
Seriously, the
Awesome.
ripple
Yeah.
goes forever.
I
Wow.
did actually see somebody that posted online. It said is saying that I wish these would stop. I really miss you, Jim. And it's like, yeah,
Aw,
my heart goes out to you. We all miss him, but
totally.
Jim's probably laughing at it right now, saying, "Ha ha."
Right.
So anyway, speaking of Jim, for those of you that are in the chat, if you want to place your bets on friend or frenemy, we'll get to that in a few minutes. Don't spoil the question, but you can just place your vote for friend or frenemy. Yeah, Hypnobiz in a Box. You work with the HEA as president and vice president. And I know what that's like because I run an organization here in the province on the education side. It's called the Saskatchewan Educational Technology Association, and it is, you know, it is sometimes feels like it's work off the corner of the desk. And then you get into it and you say, okay, no, there's some good that we can do here. And then, you know, and in particular, we run meetings with all of our IT managers and educational technologists at least once every 6 weeks. And when that group comes together, it's like, okay, that's why we do this. You know, it's just to facilitate the sharing between the different school divisions and the different people. And hey, that was a really, really cool idea. Have you thought of this? And I'd like to try that. Can you help me? Just boom, instant collaboration. And that was probably our biggest win. So seeing that in the hypnosis world with a nonprofit association, boom. I mean, to me, that's an instant win. And being a teacher, big proponent of continuing, you know, you should always be learning.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed. Humans are happiest at the edge of their learning. That is a a positive psychology fact. Humans are happiest when we're at the edge of our learning, where we are. And are they? You also say you're either growing or you're dying, right?
So humans
and we
are
have some
when they're
super
edgy.
exciting things coming up for HEA. The conference is cool, but there's some other stuff coming up behind that's, you know.
Yeah, we can't help ourselves.
It's fun.
I don't know how I honestly, we are, we often go, how, what?
Well, now
Like,
there's people bringing, you know, the stuff to the table that are really cool ideas.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we could do that one.
Do that.
And you know, once that starts, it's like a snowball, you know, rolling down the mountain. Eventually, it's going to gather up enough speed. It's going to suck everybody with it.
Yep.
Yeah, because we intend for HEA to be kind of a glue. We're purposefully positioned in a non-competitive, way, so that because we're not for profit, we don't have a certifying body, right? So we refer out to the NGHs and the IACs and the HMIs, to get get your education, get your certifications and things like that. So we're more about supporting the general overall sphere of hypnosis and the people involved in it, and we get a lot of reward. I mean, we're rewarded because of our mission, and we're seeing those people that need hypnosis get helped. But I tell you what, the ones that are making some money helping those people, because they really need that too. You know what I mean? It just feels awesome. It's a great. I'm all about synergy, and I like to synergize.
And we're really excited to help stage hypnotists with hypnosis.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's
here.
Right here.
It's here. We should say we're coming. We're coming to the conference.
I get this would be
to
be the
box.
first public time we've announced it.
We have the ability to support them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are actually coming to open up the box at performing
for stage
hypnosis.
hypnotists.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Awesome.
That's awesome. Grant had mentioned that was a possibility, and that he was hoping that would definitely be the case.
We're looking to make the whole thing a January excursion as well. Just so you know, we're big travelers, so we're going to be there afterwards to play.
If you want to play in Vegas,
nothing wrong with that. I know last year there was a group that went to the Golden Knights hockey game. There's a dozen, different hotels along the strip that you'll want to visit, and get the vantage point and blah blah blah. But check out what's going on in the Sphere.
Oh, we're definitely doing the Sphere. In fact, we've been talking about just doing some shows. But the Sphere is one of our main interests, for sure.
Penn and Teller have their. It's actually across the street in what's the name of the hotel? The Palms, I think. I forget. Whichever one is across the street and down the block from us. But Penn and Teller have their residency there. Unfortunately, in January last year, they weren't there. So, but that would be one for me that I would like to go and take a look at and just watch some of the magicians come up and try and fool people. I have a friend that I perform with that is a magician, and he and I get on each other about trade secrets and whatnot, and say, well, you tell me how you did that. He says, can you keep a secret? I said, yeah, so can I.
I ended up actually I used to produce concerts, and one of them, for the longest time, I worked with Disney and Radio Disney. And so as part of the entertainment lineup, I contracted a magician, and I got to be really good friends with him. And I learned that he was the magician that built all the different, magic show, contraptions that other magicians would use. And I remember being invited to his shop where he'd build these things, and he was sharing with me insider, stuff about how these things are used. And he's like, you can't. So I should have you sign something. He's like, but I think I could trust you, because he'd known me for a couple of years by then. Yeah, it's really a big thing having those secrets and not telling them, because it's like Rainbow Land,
I can't remember who it was. I was reading a story about a stage hypnotist turned comedy hypnotist. No, a magician turned stage hypnotist, simply because he didn't have to have the $3,000 contraption in the truck to go do his shows. He could just show up.
I'll be honest with you. He does tell me often when we're breaking down his set, not mine, because there's nothing to break down.
There's nothing to break down, right?
I close my iPad and I'm done.
Right.
for the most part. But he said that's the one part that he is jealous of, is that he
Sure.
needs to have a truck to move his act around.
Yeah.
Big cube van driving down, and I mean he's done it up nicely and whatnot, but the loading and the unloading definitely, that's
Right. An
extra
all
hours of
day
work.
event. Right. Totally.
Mark Barra says the $1 black truck downtown at the Grand.
The Grand is
And
nice.
Jim's bet on the roulette wheel was a 17 black.
17
Right.
black. Okay. All right. I've done not much of a gambler,
No,
but
Well,
My dad- I
neither
do,
am
I
I,
do have my daddy's luck, so we should do something.
oh my
We'll
God,
see.
this woman. Yeah, she's got definitely Irish luck. Just
Yeah, my daddy's luck. Yeah, it's true. And I don't gamble at all, so we just pretend I'm gambling, and the luck can flow through me, and they
right.
can win. It sounds like
Maybe
fun.
I'll sit at a poker
I'll just do
table,
that.
there's risk and then there's undue risk.
Right.
Yeah, no. 2 years ago, so the first time we were in Vegas, Jim and Grant and Brian went down to the casino afterwards, and Grant said 17 black. And so Jim and Grant got to put their money down, and then there was a lady delaying her decision, and Brian didn't get to put his money down, and Jim and Grant won like big dollars.
Wow, man.
So that's the going that's the going bet is 17 black, and so
Right.
last year we placed a couple of bets
Hmm.
in memoriam, so to speak. But yeah, it's kind of weird how those things, those are the stories again that you come back with, not so much from Vegas, but
Yeah.
from a conference. It's like I had this really cool experience.
Yeah. And actually, if you're lucky enough to go to a hypnosis conference and sit in with some really powerful,
like a Peter
instructors,
Blum's there, you're gonna have an
then
experience.
you can actually walk away with some mental shifts.
Oh yeah.
Like I make it a practice to go into the best rooms and bring my stuff that can be worked through in whatever process they're going to run. Now that you can't do that at every conference, right? You definitely can't. You can't bring your aggravation with, I don't know, I'm just make something up. Yeah. The aggravation with that to a conference and be like, okay, get this out of my spirit. This is
But a hypnosis conference.
keeping me from sleeping well. But at a hypnosis conference, you can.
You don't even have to wait for the session. I mean, you don't even have to wait for the presentation. You just tap somebody on the shoulder in the hallway. Hey, man.
Yeah. That was probably the one thing that when I was at Hypnothoughts that struck me was there was very little in the way of, I don't know who you are, I don't care, get out of my way,
Right.
my error is better than your error.
No.
It was very much oh, that's cool. Hey, oh, you're from Canada. Oh, tell me about blah, 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 and what do you do? And, you start talking to different people, and, it doesn't take long to start building out those connections. But I think at the niche conferences, that's really where you get a chance to strengthen those connections. Because you have a little more time to actually spend and talk and whatnot. But you mentioned about vision that struck me. When we're able to connect with people who, have they been there in the business? They've done that. They've got some experience that they can share from. All of those pieces. It just helps broaden your vision a little bit more. But at the risk of sounding, absolutely gobsmacked, at the last couple of years, we had a chance to connect with Catherine Hicklin, who's also a hypnotist, but it was also a soap opera star in the '80s, and also is married to Todd Fisher, of course, the brother of Carrie Fisher and the daughter of Debbie Reynolds, and so they invited a few of us out to their place, and I'm going to say place because it's absolutely spectacular what they have there. But again, the most down to earth people ever. Like, come on in, have a drink, let's make some food, and just having a good time. And you see somebody who has had all of this success be that down to earth, and it just pops the bubble on, what a lot of people may think of a lot of Hollywood. I mean, yeah, some of them they earn their reputation
Sure.
quite handily, but a lot of them get painted with the same brush, and I think a lot of them are just wanting to get on with their life like everybody else, and do the best job that they can in their chosen field, and connect with people that can help make them better.
Yeah, I think that just echoes the idea that some people have a negative belief about what it would mean if they were wealthy, right? But wealth and fame doesn't make somebody a bad person. If you're a generous, good, ethical, moral person, getting lots of wealth or creating wealth isn't going to turn you into something else.
That's the reason we want thousands of millionaire hypnotherapists.
Because good people do good things with
That's
their money.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of need that right now.
Well, and I like the way you said that. It really is. Good people do good things with the tools that they have.
That's right. Yes, and I'm sure that we don't even need to go there right now because we don't need to give any bad rap or bad press. But there's people out there use the tools that we have for not so great. So we'll just leave that over there. Few and far between, but they probably get more attention than the
It's
thousands
just like,
of us
it's
that are
just like anything
helping people
else.
to break bad habits and achieve their goals every day.
Yeah. No, that I certainly get that, and that as with all tools,
It's not the tool that makes
it's the tool using the tool.
right. It's the human
I got to
tool.
tell you though, the only thing that's right now that's bouncing around in my head is friend or frenemy, and I don't know why because I don't even know what it is.
We don't know what it is,
but it's going. Ooh, I gotta know.
All right. I'm not sure, Mark, if you're still out there and you want to vote. Now's your chance. Jim is famous for a lot of things. Calling me a geek is definitely one of them. Every time I would mention Star Trek, there would be a geek.
Star Trek.
Oh yes.
Yeah. All right.
That's the uniform, and you will get to see it at the summit.
All right. Awesome.
And the correct number of pips for being captain.
All right.
Mark's saying friend. Okay. Jim was also known for one other thing, and we talked a little bit about pizza, kind of off the top.
Oh yes.
Jim was well known for his absolute disgust with pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that's what I was going to get.
He served it up at his conference.
He did. Yeah.
Brought it out like this. Here you go.
The question is this, and it will determine whether you're a friend or a frenemy. So yes or no. And this is not let me preface this by saying, if it's on there, I'll eat it. It's okay. Yes or no, you would order pizza with pineapple on it.
Definitely not. No, I just avoided it at a party.
I love pineapple. I love.
We have some friends.
But we do love pineapple.
Yes.
Oh,
it just doesn't seem right on a pizza.
Yeah, pineapple, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, to me, it's a necessary. It's for sweet and sour. Definitely, you need to have pineapple. Pineapple for certain drinks. A pineapple juice, right? Lots of good uses for pineapple. Surprisingly, even in when you do the historical research, this is the history teacher now. In Hawaii, they used to use pineapples as defensive perimeters to keep out wild animals and the enemy.
Pokey pokey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And you probably pick
And they're
them up
not, yeah, that's
and
pretty
probably
smart.
make a good tool too. Big heavy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can definitely do that.
Bludgeon people with a pineapple.
Damn.
Somehow, though, I don't think they've ever turned it upside down.
No, but I don't think so.
Um, you know, the things that we come up with in the modern world. What can I say?
Right.
Okay, so we got some friends here. That's good. I will relay that to Brian that we have some more friends. We'll go for a pizza, a proper
Awesome.
pizza, at some point. With not any pineapple anywhere.
Nope.
All good. Okay, this is generally we usually transition now into the hypnosis portion of our show. Before we do, though, I want to give you guys an opportunity. Is there something that we didn't get to cover that you wanted to touch on?
Well, we could give like a little recap of the conference coming up.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool because we have Cheryl Ellman joining us as a co-host. We did mention that it's different, that we've got some entertainment sprinkled throughout. We have phenomenal presentations coming. I mean, the people that have volunteered to present are really just top notch in their field. And then we have some awesome panel discussions. Those should be very interesting. We have Shelly joining us. We have Peter. We were talking earlier. We've got some OGs.
Yeah.
They're going to show up and have discussion. It's not that's just them presenting. It's going to be a couple discussion panels at the end of each day. So for like an hour and 15 minutes at the end of each day till 4, we'll discuss. The first day it'll be the external influences, the hypnotic influences, and then the final day with the internal influences. So that should be a lot of fun. And then for Hypnobiz in a Box, was there anything about the conference?
No, I would just say I would invite you to go to hypnosiseducationassociation.com and click on the conferences page, because you may be.
There is a promo running right now too.
There is a promo going right now, actually.
Get
Right this minute, it's
50% off.
50% off. The conference
It's
tickets.
a little window.
Little window. Yeah, I would invite you to go take a look, because you may be surprised. We've got international, world class geniuses coming again, and it's awesome. We love it.
And then
We
for
love it.
Hypnobiz in a Box, be on the lookout. Melanie and I have been behind the scenes here for a long minute, coming up with a really, really cool thing for everyone. And
Just keep your eyes open.
yeah, it's going to be a really,
We're always looking for more ways to help people to break through their limiting beliefs and ultimately see more clients. So
break through yourself.
And we believe in the giver's gain also. So
Definitely.
you will get something, you don't have to, a lot of times what we hand out are truly gifts. So take them while they're gifts. Kind of thing.
I have a saying in my program for prosperity, is that your blessings don't always come from where you're looking, right? So you think, if I give this way, then it's going to come back. No,
It might not come back from that
it
person.
doesn't come back that way. So we just give, knowing that it comes back from all ways.
What I find amazing, and I've had this happen to me numerous times over my life, is you literally are thinking, okay, if I sow there, I'm going to reap there, and that's great. Right. I'm going to, there's going to be increase, and you literally get blindsided by a blessing, just like
right on.
Wow. What the
I actually think that's more of what Melanie's thing is than luck. Personally, that's what I think.
Just
giving, because it doesn't feel like the luck that my friends go, oh, I'm lucky today or whatever. What happens with us?
Yeah, our big love goes out, and then I guess it gets to come back. So that's not so bad.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Mark says Cormac and Beryl are 2 of my favorites. Awesome. Come to the conference. Love to see you there, Mark. Cool.
Yeah, Mark is a longtime supporter of Hypnosis Heroes, and We have a mastermind group that meets fairly regularly Sunday nights called the Hypno Hustle. And there's just a bunch of us that get together and, if you want to call it self mentorship, discussions about hypnosis, questions.
Like a
Hey,
mastermind.
I did this. What do you guys think? And Mark is a regular attender there as well. So,
Cool.
Ooh, I love that. I'd love to learn more about that. That's the type of thing that I would like to let more people know about through the Hypnosis Education Association. Seriously,
yep,
places where they can go and have some community.
For
yep,
sure.
I mean,
Scott.
we have that in the Hypnosis Education Association, but that's one of the other things we do is we don't discourage people from going outward.
We're
We
friends.
encourage it.
Tommy, we're friends.
Sorry, Tommy. Here, Tommy, I have a sound effect just for you.
Tommy, you like pineapple on your pizza? I was just telling my mom that we might be friends.
He voted
There you go,
friends.
Tommy. Yeah, it's there's always something, right? Oh, where did my chat go? There it is. There we go. We'll take that off. Yeah, the Hypno Hustle group it's actually started by Jim and a gentleman by the name of Scott King. Scott, you would have seen definitely at Hypnothoughts over the years, but Scott's carried it on as Jim got busier and busier and busier. He showed up less and less and less, but Scott carried on with it, and there's a core group there that that's really all we do is get together, talk hypnosis. Bob Martin would be part of that group. Lisa Kunchik, Misty Knight would be part of that group. Colin Chapman would be another one that would be a part of that group. It's we cover pretty much anything and everything. So no, just some of us are closer to it because we don't like pineapple on our pizza. Oh boy. Anyway, we should get on with the hypnosis portion of our show. We have a little bit of a disclaimer, and I never get it quite as good as Mike Mandel does and Chris Thompson on their Brain Software podcast. But this disclaimer is very simple. If you are doing something that requires your focus, you are driving a vehicle, you are attending to a child, you are cooking, because I actually had that on TikTok once. I made the offhanded joke, if you're chopping vegetables right now, don't listen. And one of the ladies came back to me right away and said, I was actually cutting carrots. Like, okay, yeah, stop that and do this, or turn me off and carry on with your food prep. But whatever it is that you're doing, if it requires your focus, now is not the time to carry on with the listening to the hypnosis portion of the show, because hypnosis does take your focus and you do get really relaxed and all of those good things. So if you are ready, get into a position where you're going to be stable, sit on the sofa, couch, good office chair that has arms, someplace that you're not going to slump out and hit your head on a table or anything like that, and get comfortable. I'll turn it over to Melanie and Shawn.
Awesome.
Right, turn it over to Melanie.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is a process that I give my women who are recovering from burnout. So burnout recovery hypnosis is my specialty. And I like to give them this tool that is something they can do on their own. I also give them a short recorded version so they can learn it themselves. And then once they can do this on their own. And it's heart coherence, which you may have heard of. You may have heard of heart math, heart coherence. But I use this in my practice as an induction. So I teach them this, and they're using this heart math to get that into that state of relaxation and, that kind of their nervous system regulation before we go into the therapeutic work. So we're not going to do any of the therapeutic type stuff. I'm just going to take you to that space, but it's a space where your immune system is boosted, your anti-aging is boosted, and you have completely neutralized the biochemistry of stress. So I call this a dose of awe. It's going to take just a few minutes. And what I would ask you to do is just put your feet flat on the floor and put your hands over your beautiful heart. And just starting with your hands over your beautiful heart. And you can take a nice deep breath in. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes right down, because with the eyes closed, it's easier to go inside, down inside in the place that knows you best, to the deepest feeling part of you. And you can just begin to take long, slow, deep breaths. You're going to feel your belly expand and let it go slowly. And just taking a wonderful, long, slow, deep breath in and letting that go slowly. And on this next breath, as you breathe in, just keeping those long, slow, deep breaths, letting it go slowly. You can imagine that you're breathing in and out of your beautiful heart. And yes, of course, we breathe with our lungs, but just imagine for a moment that it is your heart that is expanding with that breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, just focusing on the heart space. You might even think of it, if you're familiar, as the sacred heart. And as you breathe in, that beautiful flame of the sacred heart just gets to be stoked with your own breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and feel good. Now you can bring to mind something that helps you to feel a sense of love or care, appreciation, gratitude. Just something that makes you feel good as you breathe in and breathe out, bringing to mind something that makes you feel good. And when you have that something, whatever you land on, imagine you take that like a Polaroid picture and place it right in the center of your beautiful heart. So just breathe in and breathe out and let that feel good expand. As you breathe in and breathe out, you should feel a sense of a drifting, floating feeling, a lovely feeling. Because just by telling your heart how to feel, your brain, the pharmacist, has created the neurochemistry of the happy dose. As you breathe in and breathe out, you can feel the pulse of that dose, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins flowing to every single cell of your body as your heart beats. Bum, bum. Breathe in. Breathe out as that thing that helps you to feel good, and the love that is you is spread to every single cell in your body now. Healing. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, you can allow the love that is you to expand beyond your physical body. It's easy. You know this is the way it works. Just feel the love that is you expand beyond your body. As your heart right now is already beaming far more photons of light. Yes. Your heart is beaming light from beyond your body as you breathe in, breathe out, feel good, and fill the room you're in with the love that is you. That's right. As you breathe in, breathe out, feeling good. You can send that love that is you to all beings, because we could all use some love. Just sending out to those who need it. Breathe in, breathe out, blessing all beings. That's right. And then just imagine or know that there's like a window, French doors in your heart, and they're opening wide right now. As you breathe in, breathe out, and feel good. And all of the love that you've just expressed out is now rushing back to you, rushing back through those doors. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that now. All that love blasting right back to you, blessing your well-being, blessing your intentions. May you be blessed. That's right. As you breathe in, breathe out, and feel good. So you can come back into the skin you're in. Find yourself in the U-shaped place and space. As you breathe in, breathe out, feeling good. You can open your eyes. You can come all the way back to the space, knowing you just neutralized stress and gave yourself this dose that's going to be with you for hours. And if you do this 2-3 times a day, that stress that kills, it can't take you over.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Let us know how that was for you, and if you're watching this after the fact, because we do have a lot of people that catch us on YouTube and Facebook after the fact. Let us know how that was for you. If you have questions that you want to ask, you can also post those there. I do go back and regularly check to answer any questions that show up along the way. And I do something very similar. I call it the gift. And I especially at the end of a performance, I want to leave them with something that is just kind of reinforcement that, you know what, you guys did awesome. Here's something that you can take with you that's just for you. And then afterwards, I get a few audience members that come up and say, "Hey, I want that." Well,
I want more of that. I want more of that all the time. How can I feel that?
Exactly.
Good?
And that's something that we don't generally tell people, is that hypnosis is very, very much an iterative process. Once your brain finds its way, it has no problem finding its way again and again and again and again. No, it's all good. Got a few people in the TikTok chat enjoying things, and I think probably that's Tommy still. He might still be waking up. You never know. On Facebook. No, it's all good. It was absolutely amazing to meet you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in Vegas in a couple months.
Awesome. Brilliant.
What are we? This is October, November, December, 3 months. So in a few months. It's going to be an absolutely stellar time out there for sure. If you need anything in the hypnosis world, Hypnosis Education Association is there for you. If you are looking at wanting to improve your business, or just learn what you need to do in business so that you can actually make the dollars that then turn it into not just a career, but the calling that you want it to be.
That's right.
Hypno is in a box.
That's it. Brilliant. Well,
Really
thank you
good
so
to
much
get-
for having
yeah,
us.
good to get to know you a little bit, Shawn.
Yeah. What fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's, as with all people, there's more to learn. So as we go to conferences and meet people, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, everybody.
We shall see you soon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Until then, as Jim would always say, and we close it out every week. Take care, stay well,
Peace.
be awesome. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.